DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
We should have balloons released when the show starts, when things finally get going after YouTube decides it wants to be a real pain in the butt. You know what I'm saying?
I release a bunch of doves every time my show starts.
That's what that was. I was wondering what those white splotches were as they were, on the floor. I mean, I walk in and there's splotches, and it was doves.
It's doves,
I was telling the kids to quit eating their vanilla ice cream cones in the office. Yeah, but kids, they like their vanilla. Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. You could be watching us on Facebook, you could be watching us on YouTube, or you could be watching us out on Chew, because tonight is a music show, which means that it could get banned in any one of a number of places. Is that a good way to say it?
Does that mean we're syndicated?
I don't know if it's syndicated or stupid. Is there a fine line between the
two? Okay.
I'm just saying. There's a fine line.
Oh, that is too funny in its own right.
So if you are watching out on Facebook, Facebook is going to be the one that ends up getting shut down here, because once we get into music, Facebook is the one. If we get caught, I can't have a week of not uploading videos. So Facebook, we're going to just chat for a couple minutes here. When we get started, we're going to shut that one down. But the link for the YouTube is in the description of the video. So you can go up there, and I'll put it into the comments section also on the Facebook video right there, and you can go there. And if you're watching us out on Chew, you're probably watching us later, because that's the way our videos get watched on Chew. And then, hey, we're glad to have you wherever you're watching us from. Okay, I think I'm good.
Cool. I'm still adjusting lighting here. So the Tonight Show, Tonight Show, I honestly get asked this question more often than I care to even discuss. But the question comes, where do you start your songs at?
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly kind of laugh at that. Again, as I'm developing my curriculum for the DJ classes, I have to learn what people need to learn. So different things I've learned along the way that weren't part of the curriculum originally. And this is one of them. Because when you ask a question, where do you start your songs at? It is like asking someone, how many stars are to the right of you. It's just kind of something you can't answer. You have to count them, yes. Because to me, when picking where to start a song varies on these factors, okay? Every single song is different, okay? Every single version of every single song is different. Where you play it at will be different. So you could play the same song in two different venues and start it in two different places, two different ways, or 5 different ways, or whatever you want to word that. The time of evening, night, day, whatever you're playing at, also affects how you would start the song and where you would start the song, and the type of event that you're doing and who's in front of you. All of those come into factor. So to answer where do you start a song is almost impossible. But tonight, I'm going to show you where to start a song.
That sounds awesome.
So I asked John to give me some songs that he has a difficult time finding a good starting point. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at both the album version of 3 or 4. You have like 3 or 4 of them here. And then we're going to look at some remixes and some different ways to look at it. And basically all we're doing on this one is looking at where you could start it. And again, remember, I'm not going to show you one. I'm probably going to show you 3 different places you could start the song, at least 3. But it can be done different ways. So,
and the songs that I chose were songs that I, as a mobile DJ, pretty much. One of them was a newer song that is something that the kids have been requesting at the schools. So I wanted a modern song, and then 3 of them, I think actually are songs that are still used quite a bit at a variety of different dances. And then I have just a little guilty pleasure song that I threw in there as the last.
If it's the one I think it is, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, it wasn't the very last song in the list. It was one of the others.
The list, but if it's the one I think it is, I went and found the original, just so that you know.
So yeah,
the original's really different than the rest.
Oh, well, that could be very interesting.
Very different, actually. So, all right, so I'm going to share a screen here. Okay.
So for those of you watching out on Facebook, we're going to be dropping the feed right now. Again, the YouTube link is up above in the description. You guys can jump there and catch that, and we will hopefully see you on YouTube. Thanks.
All right. Am I ready to share? Or am I sharing? I'm sharing.
You're sharing. Yep. You are
realize
good.
I was sharing here. Okay. All right. So these are some of the songs John picked. Ice Ice Baby, Don't Stop Believin', The Middle, which is a new one with Zed, and Sandstorm, and This Girl, which is one that I talked about last week that I like the horns on it. So let's start at the top with Ice Ice Baby. And I will be loading stuff tonight from some of the stuff from Deezer. So for those of you who want to know how Deezer works, it loads this quickly. I mean, that's a Deezer song right there. That version is not in my computer. It's streaming. So it starts like this. It's got that, or some of you might know this song as Under Pressure. So John, where do you normally start it? Do you know?
I can barely hear it.
Where do you normally, because there's nothing really going on there. Where do you normally start it?
It depends. A couple of things.
Good answer.
I typically start probably right where you're at. Go ahead and play it. Yes, that's generally where I started. But I always want to do better than that, because it seems like there's almost an energy drop before you get it going.
I would not have picked anywhere here. I'm still not even getting to the point where I would mix yet. All right, stop. Okay. In my world, I signify that is the first word. So I'm going to throw a cue point in there. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm then going to go back probably back here. And you're going to see me repeat this process on everything. Now, this is a looping point. And then, so now he comes in and he talks before that beat. All right. All right. All right. All right. So right there, I would put another one. So the reason for is you have a loop here. I'm going to throw it in loop mode. It's got enough kick to it to where you can use it as a loop mode. We know it's 16 out. Or you can throw one in right there and just do a short loop right there somewhere. If you want to do, but I don't do it there because here it starts with that Ice Ice Baby. You hear that?
Yep.
You don't want that. All right, so we have a loop, and if we're going into the song and we're beat matching, remember, we start the loop. There's the first word. So if you wanted to scratch in and drop it, or even sample it, bring it in that way. Or if you have a song that you're dumping out of, which I'm going to throw the same song up here, and if we're leaving it, I'm not sure what I just did there. Oh, I know what I just did there. Because when I put it in that list and I play it, it disappears. I probably shouldn't have put it in that list, should I?
Oh, no.
Ew, don't do that. But we're going to go ahead with that anyways, because I can do this. I can clone it. Boom. All right. So if I'm all the way at the end there, let's say I wanted to just drop out. Remember how we're doing the dropouts before with the dump effect? The dump effect? That's where we would use this at. So if we were playing, jump to the end there. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while DJ revolves it. All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Dumps in and outs, and then your start. Mm-hmm. And that's where I would look at that. I would not, where you said where you jump into it, John, you go somewhere way back
Way
here.
back, yeah. And I'm just never super happy with it because, yes, people recognize the beginning of it, but there's just not enough energy.
Because there's no energy there. So we then are going to jump it up to the first one.
Yo, VIP.
Can't really do much with that.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
That's the first point you can actually do something with, and that's your loop point. So I look at every song that way. It's looking, how do I mix? I'm going to do loops. I'm going to do dump-ins. I'm going to do scratches. I'm going to do stuff. So I'm going to pull something from every song that's like that. Now, I don't play this version of this song. I do not play the stock version. I play sometimes this version. A little bit more kick.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
It's got a little Daft Punk beat behind it. But did you see I did there? Loop point.
All right, stop.
And then you're pointing. Same with every song. Bob Sinclair did this version. I love it. It's got a little Latin feel. Loop point. Second loop point. A little bit more kick.
Mm-hmm,
Same sort of thing, jumping in and out of there. Let me see what I have here. This is the video version, I think. I think it's the video version. Yeah. So it's the same thing. You get those little points in there and drop that. Does that kind of make sense to you, John?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go on to the next one. Don't Stop Believing, the stock version.
The stock version.
So tell me where you started at here.
Right there is where I pretty much am starting it. To a point, regardless if I'm coming out of something upbeat and I want to bring them down into a sing-along, I started there and I generally do a talkover. But I start...
Okay, there's our first.
It's got to be a long talkover.
Is that the first downbeat?
Just a small town girl.
Let me go back here a bit. I'm going to throw the downbeats in because I don't know if they're right. All right, so those downbeats are now on beat. Small Town is the first downbeat. Now, keep in mind, I like I said, I don't play this one. This came from Deezer. So I'm throwing that in, and I'm going back 2, 3, 4. Here would be my loop if I wanted to do a loop. Throw the loop in there. Whoops, I jumped ahead. That's actually off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that would be a looping point. And we have, take that loop away. But I would go, if you're going to use this version, which that loop point actually starts in right there is actually where it's at.
You'd almost need a 16-beat loop there.
Yeah, so you could grab those, but I'm a person about grabbing different versions because you really can't do much with some of these because there's no energy to that unless you're mixing out of something that's within that same BPM range. So we're going to go 1-1 to 121 and see what I have here that I think this has an intro. Nope, that does not have an intro. Home does have an intro or an outro. So this isn't the best choice. I'm just grabbing something that I knew had an outro. Whoops, where are we at there? But there's no beat there. So you'd have to carry that kick all the way across there. So what you do is you solve that by getting a remix. Looping point. So do you see how much easier it is to grab something, a remix? And would this throw your wedding audience off with that? But
I don't think so. I think it has enough of the original.
See, that's why I picked these. Because I have that with the redrum that I play. I I have. Which one do I want here? Nope, I don't want that one. I want this one. Just enough. That wouldn't throw them off, would it?
No.
But that gives you mixing points. So do you, again, with me telling you where to start the song, like for Journeys, unless you have an audience where you can pull that really slow intro in, which you might have a bar, you might have something, you absolutely might. But you don't always have to start it at the very first sound. You can come in so many beats and start from there and kind of give the people a little less lag time for them to get bored with you, I guess is the best way to say that. Any questions on that one, or we're going to move on to the next one?
I think we're good. I think we did have one question about asking the remix that you played of the Don't Stop Believin', that had a little bit more of a, which version was that?
That is which one is that? I think it's the Manic City one. Maybe. There's this version. I play this. I forgot about this one. This is the one I play. So I play a lot of college bars and, other 21s where this whole hype beginning.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that kick. That's the one I normally play. The other one I believe is this one. Yeah, this is the Burner Keenan video version, which I believe this is the video version. Yeah, so it's a remix with a remix video. So those are the two versions there. But like I said, I normally end up playing this one just because it's got that hype. You can have any kind of intro you want there.
Sure.
Let's move on down. The Middle by Zed. This is the radio edit that I took off of Deezer. Not much there.
Yep.
Cabinets are bare, and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess.
There we go. John, you can press the kick button. Now, all I did there, keep in mind, was I pressed because Virtual has a synth. Would you call it a synth, John?
I don't know. Would it be that?
Sampler. All right, so these are my samples that I have in here, and if I press this one, what it does is it creates a kick drum on top of whatever's going on in the same beat. So technically, you could take this song if you didn't want to buy a remix or something and press that. You got a little bit of a kick intro. But I don't want to do that. I want to mix. So I'm finding mix versions, and I have a couple different ones here. And we have this one right here.
Take a seat.
Gives you an intro. Doesn't throw the song too far off. Jump ahead. Nothing too crazy. That's a choice there you can do with that one. This one is the Pete Down one, which I like this.
Take a seat.
Because it gives just a little bit under. Remember the other one that we did? Didn't have anything once she started?
Yep.
This one just puts just a little bit under it. So with both of these, you can do a loop point there. Since her first word is on that can be put as a drop. So you could drop that, in between songs as one ends. You could be doing
Take a seat.
If you choose to. And the same with that original one. I'm going to go back over here so I can grab it from Deezer again if I can grab the right one. There it is. Load it from Deezer. So
take a seat.
Her first words there, so you kind of would have to do something with that. You can't, there's nothing there to loop. But if I would, this version, we're talking, starting versions.
Take a seat.
with some sort of kick.
Sat on the stairs daily.
So that's your only options with those, John. I think pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But there are, like I said, the Pete Down ones are the ones that I like because underneath when she starts, they have like a clock ticking there.
Yep.
Just gives it something.
Yeah, it needs a little something in there.
It's almost a little country beat that they put behind that. If you can listen to it. Let me jump back in there. Little country beat. Hey, keep in mind, I'm a person who listens to songs and know that the chord. Most country songs are written with certain chords.
Mm-hmm.
Rock songs are with certain chords. So there's songs what I call country chords and stuff. This is a country beat. Got that upbeat. So those are versions.
Mm-hmm.
Next one you did is a tough one to pick.
Some of these remixes, where have you picked those up from?
There's this thing called the WeberNet or the interweb
Mm-hmm.
that you can go and get stuff.
So they're from a variety of different sources.
Yeah, I mean, some of them probably a mixture between one that actually just closed down called Video Tools, BPM Supreme, and Club Killers. Probably the three that I go to every time.
Sure.
Every once in a while, I can't find one that I want. What's the one that's out right now that is with Florida Georgia Line and the lady? Chat room, feel free to shout it out.
Somebody will remember know what to there. As soon as you say Florida Georgia Line, I kind of like lose interest, and not that they're bad.
Meant to be, because I typed in country crap remix, and that's what it is. So this one, that's what as you can see right there in my genre, country crap pop remix.
We're on you right now, so pop us over to the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I keep switching them out. I need to go share, right? Yeah. All right, so as you see right here.
There we go.
So the reason I genre this is because it is country, because it has a country group.
Mm-hmm. It
is pop because it gets played on the pop station. It is a remix because it's not the original, and it is crap because it's country. This is a good example of one that I could not find a version on any of those that I like, so I had to go to YouTube, and I found it at YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a kick there.
Take a seat.
Oh, no. The
other one.
I didn't load the right one. There we go. Now we're loading the right one.
Say, that sounds familiar. We've already heard that one.
Kick your pretty feet up on my dash. No need.
It's a little bit. So that one there, you would come in. You have no intro there. So that would be your first marker right there if I were to throw one in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go back probably there. You'd have to. Right here. That would be my loop point right there. And there's not much you could do with that. Put a kick under it or come out of another song that has the same BPM, same BPM outro. That's why outros are important. So you got a loop point. So this song, you basically have two things, a loop point and the first word. But I like how it drops down right here. Right here. Best part of the song. Best part of the song. So those are good examples. Like I said, when you're talking about where to get them, I had to go to YouTube to get that one because I couldn't find anything I liked on any of the other ones. And it was a popular song, so you have to play it. So I'm going to get something that I don't mind playing. So that's what I get. Cool?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How much time we got? I'm going to jump through the last ones fast as I can because I want to go to questions and let people in the chat room kind of jump at me with stuff. Okay,
sure.
Sandstorm is one John brought up because there really isn't much of an intro. And this is one that I think you can start dead, unlike the Journey one, because this song is all about builds and drops. Okay, so that first one right is, so you could drop that there if you want, or you could throw a kick under it. This is the plain stock, and again, I don't play this version, but that's where right here is where I would start it in. If I was going to loop it somewhere, like if I was going to put a loop under it with another beat matching somewhere, I would do it from here. That would be my loop point. And it's, as you can see, where it's about to jump in there, I'm going to release the loop. There's the build point, which is also a loopable point, right? That's also a loopable point. But you can't go too far into that because they're going to get lost. And right there would be the first part of the song.
Right.
Now, you could loop from there if you want and mix it out of another song where you could maybe bring it up really slow or filter it. Like I'm going to turn the filter down and I'm going to put it in loop mode right there. So if there was another song with a kick drum underneath of it, bring it up really slowly and then release it. So that would be your choices, John. That first hit, the build, and the drop. But with this song, which was kind of interesting, is I played this a couple weekends ago. Somebody requested it.
Sure.
And it wasn't horribly popular. So because of the way I do things, that song got started. Right there is where I started it. And I ended it right here. And on to another song.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't get much time on it. So with that one, that's kind of your only choice. But again, I picked some other ones. The Sandstorm 2008 remix is it's got a nice little. You can find ones with intros and then it goes into the regular song right here. That's a version. This is my remix I did, and this actually got radio airplay. Very close to the original. There was a Christian group in the 90s called Worldwide Message Tribe, and they had a song called Jumping in the House of God, and I did a mashup of both of them. And that's where I would have started at. Right here, actually. That's where the loop would have started. It's got the override there. Which I play that one sometimes too. That's my little remix of that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the points there. Did that kind of make sense?
Yep.
With that one? 'Cause that's probably one of the weirdest ones I think you picked. And you picked this girl, which is not me. You didn't pick me, this girl. It's a song that we both like. Where do you normally start this one at, John?
Well, it's not so much the start. I mean, the start, it kind of has that kind of a groovy little beginning. It's when he gets into the lyrics and such, and it's like, okay, is there a better place to start where you don't lose that energy?
Well, this is one that you can bring it in from like a loop point. And you're preparing the audience that you're going to drop out a bit, but this remix at least doesn't drop out too far. Let it go. There's my other 2 points, remember, where you could do the drop point here. It's got that. So if you needed to dump out of something, you could dump out of it. And then her first word. Now, I think it's okay to let this drop out on this song because it doesn't stay long there. Back to a build, back to your kick. So you only have that little bit of time till that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's long. But there's several versions of this out there, but this is the original, John. And this is the one where it would be tricky. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is the original.
Oh, my.
Let it ride a minute there. Let it ride a bit. That's a live drummer. That's a funky drummer.
That's why we're getting off.
A little time and some tenderness.
So it's coming up there. And that's it. This is the chorus. So that would be a tough one to kind of bring in there if you were going to bring that in.
Especially on the original.
Yeah, the original. So we're going to go all the way back here. I would not start it here. I would find her first word. So that's the first kick right there, the first downbeat. Then you'd go back. Oops, lost my count there. 1, 2, 3, right here. This would be a loop point. Is there anything before her there? That is actually, because there's her first word. And you have that intro. That one kick intro. So that's where you would pick those at. So is it kind of making sense here, what the things I'm pointing out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I know there's a lot to this, and each song is different. I still kind of go with the same kind of mentality, because I tear them apart, and I always say that I look at music very modularly. So that means I'm looking at every song in pieces and try to fit it all together there. So, cool?
Yeah. Just checking the chat.
Anybody in the chat room, I told Howie to see if he could come up with a couple songs to throw at me to see if we could pick some points on there. Feel free to shout them out, Howie, or anybody else. And we're just going to do that or answer questions about picking the point. But I'm kind of hoping that you see that each song is different, each version is different, and also the kind of feel you want. If you want it to be hammering, you might pick something and start it earlier, or you could do drops like when I put the pointer on the other thing, it always dies on me. All right, so Hot in Here, which we all know that one. If I can get the darn thing to load. There we go.
Put us over the screen.
Starts. I just want you to hear it.
Okay.
Not much you can do there. This is another one that has a good example that if you wanted to do something there with an outro, so we're doing it 106, so I would go over here and grab 102 to 108. And this one I know has an outro on it, so I actually have the outro mark there. So if I wanted to loop that in, actually that is on right there. I never use that intro. I come in here. That's where I come in always.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a loop point if you want to loop. Take that speed back up. And there's his first word. So that one there, if you want to come in with a stab, got in, loop points. I never use that. I never use that.
Yeah.
So I'm in this song this far before I start looping, but I might even actually grab that here if I really want to jump into it quick, throw the loop there. Let it loop 4 times and release it. And that's it. Songs?
Let's see. We've got Dirty Bit for Black Eyed Peas, The Time.
I play a different version of that.
Yeah, we've got quite a few songs that were thrown out here. So.
What was it?
Dirty Bit?
I don't think I have it as that.
The Time, yeah, right there.
I do have it there. I do have it marked as that. I didn't think I had it there. The promo only quick edit is a good one to use.
Smash up.
That is a
Regular version. That's a loop point. I'll bring that in on.
Yeah,
this regular version. Yeah, this is the regular version.
Yep.
This is another one since there's no intro. That would be a starting point. That's the first word. That's about all you can do with that.
But you almost need to have a background beat, what have you, either from the prior song or something.
This is the version I play. And I played this Saturday. Still doesn't have much there.
No.
Still the same version, but just when we come in here. So the original one, you can, depending on where you're at, if you want to start that with that build, and it is important at certain venues, at certain times of the night, to create that build. And that's an awesome thing. but you got to make sure that your audience is okay to go along with that wait period. Because if you have a audience that's impatient, you're going to lose every one of them. So it's back to one of the skills of a DJ is reading the crowd. If your crowd can handle that build and wants that, that could be an awesome feeling. And it really could be a fun little thing. But if your crowd isn't down with that, you're going to lose them in a second.
And then it's like, because you can't repair that quickly.
I see September in there. This is what I do with September. This is the only version of September I play. Actually, I play both of them. And because it's offbeat, you have that's where I say about mixing with your ears, not your eyes, because you really need to adjust on the fly with the regular version. All right, go back to here. So we have the regular version, which I know I have. This is the video version, the stock version. That's probably where I would start if I were going to do a loop. It's got that. What?
Jimmy, and for those of you who are hearing this after the fact, you won't see the chat. Jimmy puts in there, Lord, protect the person and hit the thumbs down because I will break everything from the finger to the shoulders. Just saying. Yeah, Jimmy,
we were putting a thumbs down because that one was there before the show even started.
Yeah,
at least have enough guts to tell us why you did it. You know, to just stand there and press a little button and hide behind a screen and a keyboard. You're crumbs on the table. But anyways, this is the stock version, and this one, because the way they wrote the song, you can come out of another song and just drop in right here. But I don't use that version. I use this one,
the country version.
I do not, John. This one, I have two different points in here where it's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But it's got a steady. You can drop it from there. And this is a long intro. If you want to do a long mix, you can do a long intro or start it from there, which I do most of the time from there. I'd be coming out of another song. So that's just 16 across there. It's got that.
So does that sound like a playing card in the spokes of a bicycle?
Yes.
Okay. That's what it sounded like from here. But
we're going to loop that just for John. John, this should be my ringtone when I call you.
The spokes in a bicycle. No.
So that would be one. Again, it's a great song, and if you can jump in on the stock one from that little, I would jump in there. I would not give them this. I'd figure out a way to get a song that ends somehow. That wasn't a good. That was too slow to too fast.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do with that. Bring that in. If I wouldn't let them wait on it. I'd be right in on that as soon as I could.
We got a couple more songs here. Let's try to get a couple of those looked at. And then we got to bail. Go
ahead, John.
Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on.
Can't do anything with that one.
I didn't think so either. I think it's basically.
Do I even have that? Because I don't know if I've ever. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to say this. With this song, you don't have to, because that first sound, everybody knows what's going to happen right there. That's all you got to do. You got to find, what I would do is I would find a song that maybe came out differently, like or I'd even probably let that die a little bit further. Like I would maybe go. Let that be distinct. I mean, you could scratch that in even to where you could be like fast to slow scratch. That's a fast to slow, dropping it down. Where that would be one where I would do, turn that off, go back to here. I would not pick this song to do this, but I'm trying to give an example.
Yeah.
And get that real slow, and drop. So you can be creative. But that song, that's all you need with that song. Yeah. Ahead, next one, John.
Let's see. A remix of Benny and the Jets by Pink and Logic. I'm not even sure if I don't even think
I have the regular version. Nope, don't even have that one.
Yeah. It's Benny, B-E-N-N-I-E.
Yeah. So I have the regular version.
Search for Benny with the I-E, B-E-N-N-I-E. You did Y the first time.
All right, we're going to search here on Deezer. So what is it again?
Benny, B-E-N-N-I-E. Benny and
What's
the
the
Pink.
Pink. So let me see if Deezer has it. No. That's the closest that Deezer has is that, which is
a 2018 version.
Here's going to come a kick right here. Probably couldn't get away with that with a wedding crowd.
Not so much. No, that definitely has.
But that's, again, one of those songs that you kind of just have to go out and like The Journey and all the other ones that I found that have that simple little intro. What am I looking for here? Oops. Nope. I don't want to look there. I want to look here. This is a redrum of Van Halen, which is one that I would use. If I can get it to come up there. See, because it doesn't have much. So if you come in, you can mix in and make it sound something.
Sure.
So that's why I say some of these ones that don't have naturally by the person who wrote them, find something that's real close, because you get into that song, it's not far off the original.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of those. Like I have some Bob Marley ones like that. So go ahead. Any other ones?
I think that might be about it. I don't see. And
so I hope that if you want to throw them out there for the last couple of seconds we have here, feel free. But I hope that you kind of understood what I do when I kind of
and you're doing a lot of this in the studio. You're not doing this in the field. You're taking the songs, listening to them, finding the different points and such. But you're doing that well in advance of a show. I'm guessing.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Grab like I did the ones earlier that I picked that don't have any cue points. Like just throw a song at me and I'll show you if I had to do it on the fly. Anything.
I was just going to go to any number of country songs just to mess with you.
They're not going to be in there, so it's just not going to be there. All right, so we're going to do this. How about we do this? I'm going to recurse this, which that means it's going to show me everything that I have on that drive by play count. Okay. And why is it not doing that? Why is my play count screwed up? There we go. All right. So all of these down here are ones that I've never played. So I'm going to grab one here. Let me figure something out here. Let me see if I can find one here that everybody would know. There's Katy Perry's Dark Horse. We'll throw that in there. If I'm cueing it in the headphones, remember, this would be done in the headphones.
Let's rage.
Right there would be my first. Boom.
We're not seeing you, by the way. We're looking at you.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
We're seeing you in the intense look of Serato face.
There we go. So that would be the first one. I put a cue point there.
Yep.
And then the first word to give me that, because you can play with that if you want. And then go back a couple here, probably there, and that would be my loop point.
Katy Perry. Juicy J. Miss World. Katy Perry.
There, that song's done. That's where I would do that. Let me keep going here. Let me find something here. That's a remix. So I'll grab a remix here. Where are we at here? I don't even know what's clean here. So, all right. So this is one never played before.
Danity Kane. I haven't seen that in a long time.
What's that?
The Danity Kane Damaged. I don't think I've heard that one in a long time.
Yeah. So again, there's the first word. Put the cue point in there. Boom. There's a drop point. Probably right there, maybe. Or there. Yeah, that would be it then. Yeah, that would be that one. And then from there, go back 2, 3, 4, and we have a loop point. But when I'm doing that, remember the song's playing, so I did that in a few seconds there. The same time, I would just do this, jump to the end, find out where the end's at. That would be a marker there for the end. Go back for loop out. Now the marker that I'm 16 from the end. 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Every single song you can just grab and just start throwing them together there.
Sure.
Damage, another one. Go in and find the first word. Long way in. So not to the first. There's the first word. That would be where my first marker would go in, right there. Mm-hmm. And then, because it's like an EDM song, and do the same thing on the out. That simple. But it all can be done on the fly. I tell you not to do it on the fly. Do it ahead of time. As soon as you download the song, go in, do the tags, however you want to do the tags, set your cue points, and you're ready to go. So next time you go out, if I go out and I just go 2018, oops, wrong spot there. Am I still sharing? I'm not sharing. Am I?
No, I'm not. We're seeing you.
Last thing. All right. So if I just go in and go 2018, it's going to bring up all the songs that I've downloaded in 2018. We'll find stuff I haven't played. So if I want to do these, Power Glide, I do have that one marked. So that one I did. So I loaded it and I already had it marked. So I have, that's your little, that would be probably a good drop spot there. But all these ones, like I said, when I went in there and got them, no plays, but I know where I'm going with them. Intro, first word, 16 to the end, end. Every single song.
Cool.
First word, 16 to the end, or that one's 8 to the end. Every single song, and you don't even have to know it at that point. If you have it set, I can just grab it and go, I hate this song, I never want to listen to it, but I know exactly where to mix it.
Oh, good stuff. We're going to need to wrap up here, MJ, so we can switch over to our next show. So if you guys have any topics or anything you'd like MJ to cover on the weekly show, just reach out to him on Facebook or put messages down below and on these YouTube videos. We will go and get that to him and such, and we'll try to include those. If you want
to take any of my classes, I do classes over the internet. Just contact me through Facebook or whatever, Instagram, email, whatever, smoke signal, send you the dubs back that I launch out, and I can get you the information on that, how much it costs. And I even do classes that if like 4 people want to get together online, we do like you see John and I here on this Zoom software, the 2 people, that's what it would be. So if 4 of you wanted to split the cost of a class, we can do that way too. So you can learn everything from what is an XLR, what's an RCA, what's a gain knob, all the way up to multiple 4-deck loop effects mixing and scratching. So I hope that's everything.
Yeah, I think it is. I think we're going to wrap up. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and we'll be back in about 7 minutes with Jeremy and Dave here. Links and such, you can find those out at, if you go to youtube.com/DiscJockeyNews, you'll see it in just a couple. Thanks.
Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insider.